Hello, trading is closed on September 9th, 2015. I'm Jeff Tennant. Let's review my calls from yesterday. I said I would prefer that we not trade over this line, the TDST line, but I said that resistance extended to 1 bar past the line. Well, we went 1 bar past the line, and that was the high, even though it wasn't what I wanted. I had lower targets from the MEJT system. I said unless we dropped from the open or shortly thereafter, I doubted they would print. Well, we dropped from pretty soon after the open. We got the higher target right here, pretty much on the nose with support, and we got this lower target by the end of the day. I don't get credit for these prices because I have a standing rule that if there's a gap, a large one, in the undesired direction, that the call is dead from the opening. That's not part of the MEJT system, so the system's targets printed, but I personally get no credit. You can't just look at the rules when they work in your favor and ignore them when they don't. During the day, MEJT said ultimately lower prices would print, which they did. It says the move, these Fs say the move is a false move. Gives us a target most likely to be seen tomorrow, 1972.22, about 30 handles higher than where we closed today. Is that possible? Well, I have higher targets and lower targets for tomorrow. Usually when that happens, there's a gap at the open. I can make a case for a gap up. We do have a straight line move down with a higher unfilled MEJT target, so that's possible. That's not what I'm expecting for a number of reasons. One is we didn't sell off into the close. We actually rallied in the last bar, so there was no capitulation at the close. We also have some other negative things. 3 of the last 4 days we had a gap up, and on the 4th day we had an island reversal. So we have 4 straight days where there are positive signs, and in spite of all that, we can't close over the close before these last 4 days. So it's a sign of a rally attempt which did not work. I'm expecting a gap down at the open, although I can't rule out the gap up. I would like to see it somewhere in the 1920s, about the origin of the left stilt. If that happens, we should have bar 13 for real on the 130-minute chart. You really want to go under the close of number 8, which is about 1935.68. So if we do that, I'd be more convinced that would be bar 13, which can finish early of a buy signal on the 130-minute chart. We have 12 bars of a sequential buy signal on the 65-minute chart. If we went down under 1930.49, we have bar 13 of a sequential buy signal there too. We have a very negative pattern here, but if we do gap down strongly into the areas I mentioned, we'd have a sequential buy signal. We still have that's on a couple of different time frames. We still have active sequential buy signals on some other time frames, and we still have a higher MEJT target most likely to print tomorrow. If we get the gap down for which I'm looking, that's a moment of truth. If we're going to get the recovery, we should be higher in the middle of the day than we are in the beginning of the day, and we should be highest of all at the close. If that happens, even though it's a move of over 50 handles, I think it's quite possible. If, on the other hand, we have a middle of the day high which can't top the opening high, I think we could be in for some really big drops. Don't forget that just because you have bar 13 of a sequential buy signal, it doesn't mean you have to rally. The signal can fail. There can be 9 bars down to give us a 9-13-9 buy signal too. So we are looking for a gap at the open. I'm expecting it to be a big gap down into the 1920s, and whether we recover by the middle of the day should determine whether we have a strong rally into the close or a major league plummet, and that is today's call.